Alright, we have one more. I can put it Just 30 more seconds. There's my timer. Did you want to go over Candace stuff?
Yeah, I'll go over it tonight.
All right, so we're gonna go through what we're doing today, and then we will have someone present our weather.
Yes, it's been a while since we did this, so we'll go over it. So today we're finishing up chapter 3 of measuring the weather. And then that is what we're doing for Unique. For our small reading groups, y'all know it's test day. So PCI 1, your book is A Look Around My Farm, so you're quizzing on that. PCI 2, you're quizzing on the game room. And in the ELA group, you are doing chapter 7, Survivor talks about her experience with the Titanic. Very cool. And then for news to you today, we are finishing up our March holidays. So we have daylight savings time articles to read today because that is coming up this weekend. So very important to know about daylight savings time. For our math today, we are talking about area. So that should be very exciting. And then for Explore Math, we're doing a trip to the grocery store. For our News to You math, we're working on some more clock word problems. Always important to practice our clocks. And then last but not least, we're doing an emotions review for social vocational video because today is the last day of focusing on feelings. All right? Cool deal? Let's get it all done real quick so we can spend 20 minutes outside and eat some popsicles, all right? Woohoo! Cool deal. All right, so I'm gonna have a friend come up and present our weather for today. Come here. You gotta come up here.
Sunny.
Right. Stand right here and face the class and read it, okay?
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and read it for me.
Today is sunny. The high is 81 degrees. It is degrees out right now. We can wear a t-shirt, pants, and shoes.
Very good. So today it is sunny outside. The high is going to be 81 degrees. 81 degrees. And then when it's not warm outside, we can wear shorts. We can wear a t-shirt. And we can still wear pants. I have some friends with pants on in there. I have pants on today. So we can still wear pants. So great job with that. We're going to hop over and do our vocabulary for today. All right, so today we're doing something a little bit different. We're comparing two words. So our two words are rain and storm. So rain is water that falls to the ground from the clouds. What kind of word is rain? A noun, verb, or adjective?
Now,
That is correct. It is a noun. All right. And storm is when there are high winds, heavy rain or snow. So what kind of word is storm? Is it a noun, verb, or adjective? That's right, it is a noun. So what are the differences between rain and storm? If it's just raining outside, is there lots of high wind?
yes,
No. So when it's just raining, there's high wind. Probably, that's right. So probably no lightning. Thunder if it's just raining outside. If it's just rain. Would there be thunder if it's just raining and not a storm?
yeah.
No, there wouldn't. So no thunder if it's just raining, and it's not going to be sunny. So no sun either. And then if it's storming outside, what would there be? Would there be thunder if there's a storm? Maybe. There could be some thunder. Would there be lightning? Maybe. There'd be lots of, right?
Yeah.
All right, so can anyone use, we'll do storm first. Can anyone use storm in a sentence?
The storm is full of wind.
So the storm is full of wind, okay. All right, can anyone give me a sentence for rain?
Like rain, there, cold.
Tyler, sing us a song. Hey, can you give us a sentence with rain in it?
Rain is kind of weather.
The rain is a kind of weather. All right. Rain is a kind of weather. Does anyone have another sentence? Rain is what?
Rain is falling down to the ground.
Yep, I got rain is falling and rain is falling down to the ground. Falling down to the ground. All right, great job with that, you guys. So today we are gonna finish up our chapter 3, measuring the weather, and then we're gonna answer some comprehension questions as usual. All right.
Ms. Clough's class is ready for their virtual field trip to the local news station. They will meet with Mr. Park, a meteorologist. A meteorologist is a scientist that studies the weather. Meteorologists help us prepare for storms.
So where was Miss Club's class taking a virtual field trip?
Source.
Yep, to the local news station. And who were they going to meet with?
Mr. Park,
And who is Mr. Park? What is his job?
meteorologist.
A meteorologist. Very good. And that is a person that studies weather.
When the field trip begins, Mr. Park is in front of a big screen that shows the weather forecast. When you watch the news, the meteorologist, or weather person, may show a map of the area. They may show a graph with the temperatures for the coming days. They will talk about the temperature and if it is sunny or windy, says Ms. Clough.
So what might the meteorologist or weather person show you? What might the meteorologist show you?
Meteorologist,
May show.
they show a graph with the temperature.
For
coming in.
the coming days. Very good.
A meteorologist does a lot more than just talk about the weather on the news. They use tools to measure the weather. They record the high and low temperatures for the day. They record how much water falls to the ground during a storm, or how fast the wind is blowing. They use all this information to make a weather forecast.
So what else do meteorologists do besides talk about the weather on TV?
Weather.
The weather.
Red,
What do? They record.
red, red.
They use tools to measure the weather.
Yep, tools to measure the weather. They record the high and low temperatures for the day. And then what else do they record? How much?
Water falls to the ground.
Yep, how much water falls to the ground during a storm and how fast the wind is blowing. And then they use this information to what? Make a yes, a
Chart.
weather forecast. Very good. All right, I have a friend that wants to read the next page. So go ahead.
Mr. Park holds up a thermometer. A thermometer measures the
Degree.
degree of hot and cold air. The temperature today will be 56 degrees. When the temperature is hot, it is
Uncomfortable.
uncomfortable to be outside. When the thermometer temperature is warm, you are comfortable in a t-shirt. When the temperature is cold, you need a jacket. When it is cold, you need a coat, said Mr. Park.
Very good. So Mr. Park holds up his thermometer. And what does the thermometer measure?
Temperature.
Yeah, it measures the temperature. It tells you how hot or cold it's going to be outside. So what was our temperature for today? What was the high for today?
81.
81, very good. So that's our temperature for today. And when the temperature is warm, you can be comfortable in a t-shirt. But when it's cool outside, what might you need? If it's cool outside, what might you need?
jacket.
A jacket. And then if it's cold outside, what might you need?
Long sleeve shirt.
Cold.
Sweater, maybe. Yep, we've talked a lot about what to wear in different types of weather.
Next, Mr. Park shows the class a glass tube with numbers on it. This is a rain gauge. A rain gauge tells us how much precipitation or water we receive from a storm. This information helps us know if there will be enough water to drink or grow plants, says Mr. Park.
So what does a rain gauge tell us?
How much water?
Hot.
How much water?
Boy.
How much water we receive from a storm. And what does that information help us know? If there will
Be through water
be
to
enough
drink
water
or grow.
Yes, very good. Okay, I'm gonna have a friend in here read our next page for us. Go ahead.
Meteorologists also measure the wind. Mr. Park holds up an
Anemometer.
anemometer or wind gauge and a wind vane. A wind gauge tells us how fast the wind is moving. A wind vane tells which direction the wind is blowing. We can know which way and how fast storms are moving. That's Mr. Park.
So meteorologists also measure the wind. Mr. Park holds up his wind vane. So what does a wind gauge tell us? How fast what is moving? How fast
Wind.
the wind is moving. Very good. And what does a wind vane tell us?
Red.
Direction.
Left.
Yes, that's right. Which direction the wind is blowing. So then that way we can know which way and how fast the storms are moving, and we can better predict our weather. All right, do I have a friend that wants to read this page?
Me.
Go ahead.
Lastly, Park shows the students a weather balloon. He explains the weather balloons are sent high in the air. They measure how much water is in the air, what temperature the air high above the ground.
Very good. So Mr. Park shows the students a weather balloon. And what is a weather balloon? What do they measure? Yep. How much water is in the air and what temperature the air is high above the ground.
Recording all this information is very important. Meteorologists use the temperature, wind speed, and rainfall to make predictions about the weather. They use information from the past to predict, or guess, what the weather will be like in the coming week, says Mr. Park.
The meteorologists use temperature, wind speed, and rainfall to make predictions about the weather. So they use information from the past to predict or guess what the weather will be like in the future. So they'll use information from this week to predict the weather from next week. So let's predict the weather for next week. If it was warm this week, what do we think next week will be like? You think next week's gonna be all right? Raise your hand if you think next week. Cold. And then raise your hand if you think next week will be another warmer week.
No, you're not number.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. All right. All right, so that is the end of our chapter. We're going to do some comprehension questions. All right, so a blank studies the weather. Who studies the weather?
Meteorologist.
A meteorologist. Very good.
Meteorologist.
Mr. Park uses blank to measure the weather. What does he use?
Water.
Does he use water to measure the weather or a thermometer to measure? A thermometer. Very good. I got lots of answers on that one.
Thermometer.
Oh, he does. That is right. He does. He uses many different tools to measure the weather. So thermometers measure
Tools.
the temperature, right? It tells us how hot or cold something is. But different tools he uses to measure the weather. So this now, a blank measures the temperature. What did we just say measures temperature?
Thermometer.
Thermometer. Very good.
Thermometer.
A rain gauge measures what? Weather balloon or water?
Water.
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 A blank tells us how much water is in the air.
Weather balloon.
Weather balloon. Good
Weather
job.
balloon.
All right, we're gonna do one more set. All right. What tools tells us how much water we receive from a storm? Thermometer, rain gauge, or scale?
Ring gauge.
A rain gauge will tell us
Rain gauge.
how much water we receive from a storm. How do meteorologists measure wind? With a fan, oven, or wind gauge?
When
Wind gauge, very good. What does a wind vane measure? Directions of the wind, water in the air, or degrees of heat? Directions of the wind. Good job.
Green.
How do meteorologists use a weather balloon? The weather balloon collects water, weather balloon takes meteorologists up into the air, or weather balloon measures the water and temperature of the air. Yes, that's right. A weather balloon measures the water and temperature of the air. And last question, how does a meteorologist use temperature and wind speed? To predict what the weather will be, to buy a house, or to measure how much food they eat?
Predict what the weather will be.
Hey.
Yes, they will predict what the weather will be. Very good. All right, you guys, that is it for our comprehension questions and our chapter 3 measuring